Okay, so if you're anything like me, deep in the Apple world, you know the feeling, right? Trying to remember that password on your iPhone or maybe fumbling with a two-factor code on your Mac. It's that little moment of friction. You just want to get logged in, but it feels like, I don't know, juggling keys in the dark sometimes.
Imagine that just
Yeah.
disappearing. Seriously. Instant, super secure logins, no passwords needed. And the really good news for us Apple users, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening right now. Welcome to Easy Digital Safety. We're all about clear, practical security tips. And today we're doing a deep dive specifically into passkeys on your Apple Gear. So your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac. Our mission here is simple. Explain what Apple passkeys actually are, why they're frankly a huge deal for your security, and, the important part, how you can actually start using them confidently, like today.
Exactly. We're going to cut through some of the jargon, get to the core ideas, walk you through setting things up, and maybe bust a few myths along the way. The goal is really just a smoother, much safer online life for you. Think of it less like an update and more like getting this single unpickable key that just works everywhere in your Apple world.
Okay, let's unpack that. We hear Apple Passkeys thrown around. What is that exactly? And how does something like iCloud Keychain fit into the picture?
Yeah, good place to start. Let's maybe tackle iCloud Keychain first, because it's kind of the foundation here. Think of iCloud Keychain as Apple's, super secure digital vault. It's built right into your devices. And it just works quietly in the background, syncing your passwords, but also credit card info, and now, really importantly, your passkeys. It does this automatically and securely across all the Apple devices you signed into with the same Apple ID. It's kind of the glue holding it all together seamlessly.
Okay, so Keychain is the vault.
Yeah.
What about the passkey itself then?
All right. So an Apple passkey isn't a password you type or remember. It's a digital credential. It gets created and stored right there on your device, your iPhone, your Mac, when you sign up or log into a site or app that supports them, like in Safari or directly in the app. And the unlocking part, that's the clever bit. You just use what you already use, Face ID, Touch ID, or even just your device PIN. That scan or PIN is the only key you need.
And that key, the Face ID or whatever, it doesn't go anywhere.
Exactly. It never leaves your device. That's the fundamental difference.
Okay, that is interesting. Can you maybe elaborate a bit on that? How does that never leaves your device thing actually work? What's going on like under the hood that makes it so different from my old password?
Absolutely. This
Yeah.
is the core security innovation, really.
Oh.
When you create a passkey, your device generates two cryptographic keys. Think of them as mathematically linked puzzle pieces. There's a public key and a private key. The public key. That gets sent to the website server. It's public, like the name says. Anyone can see it, but it's useless by itself. The private key, though, that's your secret. And it never, ever leaves your specific device. It's stored in this really secure chip inside your iPhone or Mac, often called the secure enclave.
Secure enclave. Right. I've heard of that.
Yeah, think of it like a tiny, super secure vault inside your device.
Yeah.
It's heavily isolated. Even if somehow the main part of your device got compromised, that enclave is designed to stay locked down. So when you use Face ID or Touch ID, all it's doing is telling your device locally, okay, unlock the private key for the specific login. Your fingerprint data, your face data, it never leaves. It's not sent to Apple. It's not sent to the website. Never.
Wow.
This is a huge shift, right? We're moving away from sharing our secret the password with hundreds of websites where it can leak in data breaches
Yeah.
to a system where the actual key, the private one, stays firmly in your control, on your device. It massively reduces the ways hackers can get at your accounts.
So boiling it down for us, what does this really mean? It sounds like, well, no more making up crazy passwords, right? No more password 123 versus password 123. And it sounds like a pretty major security upgrade against things like phishing attacks because that weak link, the password itself, is just gone.
Precisely. And that brings us to how this actually looks in practice, day to day, with your Apple stuff. Passkeys give you these incredibly smooth logins, but they're also inherently phishing resistant. Remember how that private key is unique and tied cryptographically to the real website?
Uh-huh.
That's the key. Because of that unique link, a passkey made for, say, your bank's website literally will not work on a fake phishing site designed to look like your bank. It just fails.
Okay, it's like a built-in check.
Exactly. It protects you automatically without you having to second guess if a site is real or not.
So let's paint a picture. Imagine you're, I don't know, signing up for a new shopping site on your iPhone. You choose the create a passkey option. Then later, you hop onto your Mac to browse that same site. You go to log in and boom, the passkey option just shows up. You maybe use Touch ID on your Mac, or perhaps a little notification pops up on your nearby iPhone asking for approval. Click, and you're in. I remember the first time it happened to me, it felt almost too easy. Like, wait, that's it? No password.
That feeling. It's exactly that seamless cross-device experience that's such a huge win. It really highlights the convenience built into the Apple ecosystem with Passkeys. And what's happening there is it's naturally combining different security factors. You have your trusted device and something you are, or know your face, fingerprint, or PIN. It bundles it all into one simple step. Way less clunky and actually more secure than the old password plus, texting a code routine.
Right. Or another example, maybe you're logging into something on your iPad or even your Apple TV. You can just use your iPhone nearby to quickly approve it. It makes jumping between devices feel completely natural because that shared iCloud keychain means your passkey is just there, ready to go on all your logged in devices. No need to set it up again everywhere.
Okay, so I'm guessing people listening are thinking, all right, I'm sold. How do I actually do this? Let's get into the practical steps.
Perfect. Let's break it down. We've got a kind of step-by-step guide here. Now, keep in mind, the exact wording might look slightly different on various websites or apps, but the basic flow inside the Apple world is pretty consistent.
Okay, step one. What's first?
First up, preparation. Simple but essential. Make sure your iPhone, iPad, or Mac actually has a screen lock setup. That means Face ID, Touch ID, or at least a passcode. And obviously, you need to be signed into your Apple ID on that device. That's the baseline.
Makes sense. What's next? Step two, and this is crucial. Activate iCloud Keychain. This is the engine for syncing everything. You need to go into Settings, tap your Apple ID name at the top, then go to iCloud and find Passwords in Keychain. Just make sure that toggle is switched on. If it's off, your passkeys won't sync, and you lose a lot of the benefit.
Got it. Keychain on. Step three.
Step three is actually create a passkey. So when you're on a website in Safari, or using an app that supports passkeys, look for the option. It'll often say something like create a passkey or sign in with a passkey. It's usually pretty prominent now. You tap that, and your device will prompt you to approve it using your Face ID, Touch ID, or PIN. It's typically a really clear, quick pop-up.
Okay, created. Now what?
Step four, test the connection. This is where you see the magic. Try logging into that same website or app, but on a different Apple device you own. So if you created it on your iPhone, try logging in on your Mac or iPad. The passkey option should just appear automatically. Effortless login. That's the goal.
Nice. What about logging into, say, my work Windows PC using my iPhone passkey, or maybe even just my Mac if my phone isn't right next to it?
Good question. That's step five. Cross-device login using another device. If you're logging into, say, a Windows PC or even sometimes your Mac, if it's not immediately recognizing the passkey nearby, look for an option like sign in with a passkey from another device or use phone. Often this will display a QR code on the screen. You just scan that QR code with your iPhone's camera.
Ah, like at a restaurant.
Kind of, yeah. You scan it, your iPhone prompts you to approve the login with Face ID or Touch ID, and bam, you're logged in on the other device. It sounds a bit complicated maybe, but it's surprisingly smooth in practice.
Okay, step six.
Step six is knowing how to manage your passkeys. Where do they live once you've created them? On your iPhone or iPad, just go to Settings, then scroll down to Passwords. They'll be listed there alongside your regular passwords. On your Mac, you'll find them within Safari's Settings or Preferences, again, usually under Passwords. It's your central spot to see what you have.
Good to know. And the last step.
Step seven, and this is important for security hygiene. Handle lost or sold devices. If you lose an iPhone or sell an old Mac, make sure you go into your Apple ID settings and remove that device from your trusted device list. This helps secure your account and ensures any passkeys specifically tied only to that physical device's hardware are invalidated. Your main passkey stored in iCloud Keychain will still be safe and accessible on your other devices, though.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, like any big tech shift, there are bound to be some misunderstandings or myths floating around, especially with Apple involved. Let's tackle a few. First big one I hear. Apple is sending my face scan or fingerprint to websites when I use a passkey. True or false?
That is definitely false. And it's a really important point to be clear on. Your biometric data, your fingerprint, your face scan absolutely never leaves your device, period. It's stored securely in that hardware secure enclave we mentioned. All it does is unlock the private key locally on your device. It's never shared with Apple, never shared with the website you're logging into. The whole design is built around keeping that sensitive data private to you and your device.
Now the myth busted. Next one. If I lose my iPhone, I lose all my passkeys and I'm locked out forever. That sounds scary.
Yeah, that fear is understandable, but it's generally not the case thanks to iCloud Keychain. While your device is part of the process, having iCloud Keychain turned on means your passkeys are securely backed up and synced across your trusted devices. So if you lose your iPhone, you can still access your accounts using your iPad or Mac that's linked to the same Apple ID. Plus, Apple has account recovery options for your Apple ID itself, things like recovery keys or trusted contacts, which help you regain access if you lose all your devices. It's not a single point of failure like losing a physical key might be.
Good to know. Okay, last myth for now. Passkeys only work in Safari.
Yeah, that was maybe true very early on, but it's definitely not the case anymore. While Safari is often where you create and manage them on Apple devices, the really cool thing is how many apps now support passkeys directly. Think about major apps like Amazon, WhatsApp, financial apps like Coinbase, even things like PlayStation Network, Snapchat, Facebook. Loads of them have built-in passkey support now.
So you can log into the app itself using Face ID, not just the website.
Exactly. You open the app, it prompts for Face ID or Touch ID, and you're in. It's moving well beyond just the browser.
All right, great clarifications. We also got a few specific questions from listeners about Apple Passkeys. Let's tackle a couple quickly. First off, can I actually use my Apple Passkey created on my iPhone to log into a site on, say, a Windows computer or maybe even an Android phone?
Yes, absolutely. This is where that cross-device login feature comes in handy again, the one often using a QR code. For websites that support this standard, and many do, you can initiate the login on the non-Apple device, choose the passkey option, and it'll likely show a QR code. Scan that code with your iPhone, approve the login using Face ID or Touch ID, and you'll be logged in on the Windows PC or Android device. It works surprisingly well across ecosystems.
Okay, cool. What about families? If we have, like, a shared family iPad, how do passkeys work there?
That's a good practical question. Ideally, for the best security and just plain privacy, it really is better for each family member to have their own separate Apple ID. This keeps everyone's passkeys, passwords, photos, messages, all that personal data completely separate and secure. Sharing an Apple ID can get messy with passkeys, just like it can with passwords.
Right. Separate IDs is the way to go if possible. Okay, final question. Do I need to be online, like connected to Wi-Fi or cellular, to actually use a passkey?
Interesting one. The actual authentication step, using your Face ID or Touch ID or KeyIN to unlock the passkey, that specific action happens entirely locally on your device. It does not require an internet connection.
Well,
However, two things do need internet. First, syncing your passkeys across devices via iCloud Keychain needs a connection. And second, obviously you need internet to actually connect to the website or app you're trying to log into after you've authenticated. So the unlock is local offline, but the overall process of logging in online still needs connectivity.
got it. That makes sense. All right, lots of great information. Let's translate this into action. What are the key steps listeners should take today to start embracing Apple Passkeys?
Okay, let's run through an easy digital safety action checklist for getting started with Apple Passkeys. 1. Activate iCloud Keychain. Seriously, double-check this on all your Apple devices, iPhone, iPad, Mac. Go to Settings, Your Name, iCloud Passwords, and Keychain. Make sure it's on. That's step 0, really.
Check. Number 2.
2. Try creating one. Pick a site you use fairly often that you know supports passkeys. Maybe Amazon, Google, PayPal, eBay. Lots of choices now. Go to their site in Safari or use their app and look for the Create a Passkey option in the account settings or during login. Just try it out.
Okay, be brave, create one. 3.
3. Test the sync. After creating it on, say, your iPhone, immediately try logging into that same site on your Mac or iPad. See that passkey option pop up automatically. Experience that seamlessness. It helps build confidence.
Nice. 4.
4. Review your trusted devices. Go into your Apple ID settings and look at the list of devices associated with your account. Remove any old phones, tablets, or computers you don't use or own anymore. Good security hygiene anyway, but relevant for passkey access too.
Good call. 5.
5. Know where to find them. Just familiarize yourself with where your passkeys live. Settings, passwords on iOS, iPadOS, and in Safari settings on Mac. Just know where to look if you need to manage them.
Okay. 6.
6. Have a backup plan for your Apple ID. Make sure you have a secondary trusted device, like an iPad if your iPhone is primary, or you've set up an account recovery method, like a recovery key or trusted contact, for your Apple ID itself, just in case the worst happens and you lose your main device. Smart. And lastly, number 7. 7. Be patient but persistent. For those websites and apps that don't support passkeys yet, and there are still plenty, make sure you're still using a strong, unique password for now, preferably stored in your keychain or a password manager. We're transitioning, but it's not an overnight switch for every single service. Keep those passwords strong in the meantime.
Excellent checklist. So you've just had a deep dive into Apple Passkeys. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more comfortable now, maybe even excited about ditching those old password hassles on your Apple devices. It really is a fundamental shift, moving security away from something you have to remember and towards something your trusted device handles securely for you. So what's next in our Easy Digital Safety Passkeys series? Well, episode 4 is going to tackle the Android and Chrome side of things, how to create a passkey on your Android phone and use it to sign into your laptop seamlessly. Then, in episode 5, we'll dive into the Windows world, Microsoft accounts, Edge browser, and how passkeys work there. We want to make sure your switch is easy, no matter your platform, so definitely stay tuned for those. For today's deep dive, we drew on information from Apple support documentation, articles from Android police comparing platforms, Microsoft support pages, announcements from the Facebook newsroom, and security analysis from places like Holocene and Dashlane. Thanks so much for listening to Easy Digital Safety. Please subscribe if you want more clear, practical security tips delivered right to you. And do check out the show notes for links to step-by-step guides and the sources we mentioned.